My name is Olga. I'm here for dpaf. Here is David's to talk about his thoughts on general election in Great Britain. So, hello, David. How are you?
I am doing fine, Olga. Thanks for having me. There's been an election in Great Britain, and the reason I want to talk about this with you is because I'm a sort of a law and order person, and I want to focus on law and order as an electoral issue. A lot of people are saying this election is the sort of the Brexit election, but I feel like we've already had the Brexit vote, so it's really more of a vote, kind of like a referendum on the government's performance on how well they've implemented the Brexit, which to me is a law and order issue. And whether it's Alison Saunders or the government's performance on the Brexit, I think a lot of people are saying, certainly saying to me that I'm not sure that the government's always obeying the law. So government wants the people to obey the law, which I talk about a lot. I take it one step further and kind of want the government to obey the law as well. So that's why I'm interested in this election from a law and order perspective.
Oh, okay, that's interesting. So, who will you be supporting in this election?
Well, I don't know. I think any political party that announces that they're going to endorse the citizens' prosecution of Alison Saunders will get my support. I think what's happened politically in Great Britain is you have the two main parties no longer represent their constituents. You have a Conservative Party that's not conservative, and you have a Labour Party that represents pretty much any needy group apart from working people. So what's interesting is that the Leave Remain constituencies are very passionate and very representative of the British people, but I think the Conservative Labour are no longer representative. So I think there's going to be new political parties and political movements emerging, and I'm going to be supporting the law and order faction of that.
Why is law and order such an important topic?
Well, I have a lot of experience in law and order, Olga. I think that in the popular culture, we're always talking about the British people obeying the law and being orderly. But I just think a lot of people are looking at the government now and saying, why don't they obey the law? Whether it's Alison Saunders or whether it's the Brexit implementation, there's a lot of government that is, I think not always obeying the law, and a lot of people, a lot of voters have noted that, and want to make their voices heard at the ballot, which is coming up in a few weeks.
So you want to say that law and order is a bigger priority than Brexit?
Well, it's a good question. I think it's one and the same, Olga. I think Brexit is about law and order. It's about the British people's wishes being responded to. And I deal with a sort of a small element of this, the judiciary and British justice, and making sure British citizens are getting a right to a fair trial and equal justice. And obviously that's one important faction of society, but it's by no means all of it. I think a lot of people that have been supporting me have think about Brexit as a law and order issue, and that's what I think about it as. And but like I said, we'll have to see what happens. Brexit hasn't occurred yet.
Oh, thank you. Do you have a message for those who think that our justice system has failed?
Well, you're not alone, would be my message. I think there's a lot of people that think that, especially those that have been through it like I have. What is good about our justice system is British juries have a lot of common sense, but the Crown Prosecution Service and sometimes the police get it wrong when they're prosecuting cases, and we've seen a lot of evidence of it over the last few years, and I think there's a lot of injustice and inequality in the justice system, and I think we want to get back to real justice and every British citizen being treated the same way, and also the government obeying the law as well.
Yes, thank you. But should Alison Saunders be a factor in the election?
I think she should, absolutely. Yeah, that's why I'm doing these interviews with you, and we're talking about it all the time. This is the first general election we've had since the crimes of Alison Saunders were exposed. So I think it should be a factor. Now, obviously, the Brexit takes is a sort of a dominant story. And I think without that, Alison Saunders would be very heavily covered in this election. But I feel like I have a responsibility to raise this and to remind people that, if they're dissatisfied about Alison Saunders and believe she should be prosecuted, then they should support the citizens' prosecution of Alison Saunders, which you can find more information about on our website.
Oh, okay. But how do people donate to the citizen prosecution of Alison Saunders on the website?
Yeah, just go to the website. There's a donate button there.
Okay,
and
thank
hit that,
you.
and you can donate, Olga. Hopefully, you can
Yes.
donate a few pounds.
Oh, thank you, David, and thank you, viewers, for watching this. So see you next time. Thank you very much.
Wow.